Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. This episode is going to be teaching you how to create your very first app that does the following. It's a very simple app that allows you to click on the button, and every single time you click on the button, a random color from an array or a list is selected and it changes in the button and the background. It's very basic, just one button, but it actually does teach you how to do so many things such as play with colors, play with the design programmatically, and also how to add things into your storyboard. This is a perfect tutorial if you're just starting out, and I'll be teaching you how to install Xcode, how to start it, how to create a project, and everything. If this is something that you're interested in watching, stick around, and please remember to leave a like and a subscribe. Welcome back, guys. So the first thing we want to do is actually open the App Store, and I have it right here in the dock, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on it, and we're gonna come here and we can search up Xcode just like this. Now I already have it installed, but for you might have to click on download instead of open. Anyway, because I already have it installed and it's very easy to set up, I'm simply going to click on open, and as you can see, this wizard here, or sorry, not wizard, this window here appears to me. Now I'm able to select options or apps that I've already created, or simply go ahead and create a new Xcode project, which is exactly what I'll do. So click on that, then click on single view app, which is already selected by default. Go ahead and click next. Let's give it a name. So I'm just going to say first app tutorial. That's what I'm going to call it. You can call it anything you want. And here, if this doesn't work automatically for you, your organization identifier, you can just leave it as first use or just anything. And let's go ahead, make sure you have the user interface selected to Storyboard and not Swift UI. Storyboard, make sure the language is Swift, uncheck anything here, and let's go ahead and click next. And where do you want to save it? So I actually just want to save it under the YouTube file, so I'm going to go ahead and click on YouTube, and then I'm going to click create. Let's give it a second, and now our project here is built. Let's go ahead and expand this. And as you can see here, we have the option to play with the target. For example, do you want the app to be on an iPad, on an iPhone? Do you want it to, which iOS do you want it to have? Just leave everything here the same, to be honest. Let's not just mess with it. And let's go ahead to our main storyboard. In our main storyboard, we have our first and initial view controller. This is the thing that you're able to put things on it. So as you can see, I can go ahead and click on this button, and this button will allow me to drag any other item. For example, in our app, we simply want a button in our screen. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop the button in the middle of the screen like that. So from what you can see right now, it's presenting to us an iPhone 11, view as iPhone 11. That means that this is the screen of an iPhone 11. Let's go ahead and change that just to show you how you can change it. And I'm gonna go ahead and select iPhone 11 Pro. And now it says iPhone 11 Pro. So this is the size of the iPhone 11 Pro. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna again move the button to the middle. So as you can see, this is our view controller. This is our main screen, and you can see that by the arrow here. This arrow means that once the app launches, this is the screen that we will start with. And as you can see here, we have everything we added to our view. So as you can see, we just added a button, and we only have a button. Now we actually want to change the text from the button. Instead of saying button, let's go ahead and say something like shuffle. There we go. And let's actually make this a little bit bigger, just like that. Go ahead and adjust it to be in the middle again. And I'm gonna go ahead and change the text color to white, and scroll down to background, and let's go ahead and pick this color. If you don't have this color here presented, use anything else, up to you. And I'll have it just like this. Now from what you're realizing, right now we do have everything we actually had in the UI, which is a button, text, and yeah, that was pretty much everything we had in the demo. But the weird thing here is that the button is not curved in the corners just like we did in the other one. And that's when we actually start using code to do some mini adjustments to the design, but we'll also give it some action. The first thing I'm going to do is drag this like that. I'm gonna go ahead and close this sidebar by clicking on this button, and I'm gonna click on this button as well. This just gives us more space to work with. Now go ahead and click on this button, and then click on assistant. it will load up. And now from what you can see, you have like a file here that you can use to edit and add some actions to your controls. This is exactly what we will do right now. I'm simply going to click on this button. I'm going to click on control and I'm going to drag and drop over here. I'm going to call this shuffle out and I'm going to click on connect. I will then do the exact same thing again, but this time at the bottom here. And I'm going to say shuffle action or just act. There we go. So why did I do it twice? Because we want an action from this button. So every single time this button is pressed, we want something to happen. And at the same time, because we want to adjust the design of the button to have some curved corners. So that's exactly the first thing that I'm actually going to start with. All I'm going to say is I'm going to say shuffle out. So we're calling out this button and I'm going to say dot layer. I will then say dot corner radius equals to 12. And now if you run this application, the button will have a curved corner. Let's go ahead to this button right here and let's select iPhone 11 Pro. Make sure it's on iPhone 11 Pro. And I'm gonna go ahead and run this. Now because it will take some time to actually run, all I'm going to do is I will just skip this part of the video and then I'll start it again as soon as it actually loads up. Okay, so as soon as our simulator opens, and this is pretty much, it acts exactly like a phone, but it's on your computer. As soon as it opens, you can see that the screen was created exactly as we had it here, except this button that we added here allows the button to have a curved corner. And you can even interact with the button and everything, but nothing actually happens. So what we want to do is now give an action to this button, so every single time you press it, something actually changes, which will be the background. Let's go ahead and see how we can do that. First of all, you need to click on this button to pause the simulator, and if you go back now, as you can see, the app finished and you only have, I don't know, just a normal iPhone apps. And what we can do actually is we can shut this off. We are going to go ahead and click on this button, and because we are not going to be doing any changes anymore to this screen, we're not going to be adding any items or labels or buttons or anything like that. What we can do is just go to view controller, and now we have the file that allows us to edit our screen. I'm gonna go ahead, and as you can see in the demo, we were able to change the colors. So actually what was happening is I had an array of colors. An array is pretty much a list of colors, and every single time the button was clicked, we just selected a random item from that list and made it our screen color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say let CL for color equal to, and then I'm going to create an array. So to create an array, you need to open and close this box bracket, and inside of it we're going to be putting some items. So I'm going to say UI color dot red. So that's our first item, which is the color red. Next I'm going to be putting UI color dot blue, and we'll then say UI color dot green, followed by UI color dot purple, and finally UI color dot orange. Perfect. So now we have our list. What we can do now is go down here. So anything you write inside of this part of the code here will actually work every single time you press on the button. Let's go ahead and say this. So I'm going to say view dot background. So now we're talking about the entire view and we're saying the background, and I'm going to say cl dot random element. So this is how to get a random element from an array. So this is our array cl, and once I type in dot random element, it means every single time the button is going to be clicked, we're going to get a random element from here. Let's go ahead and run this and see if this actually works. So I'm going to go ahead and click on run. And as you can see, every single time I press on the button, the color changes. Now, there was something left, and that is to change the color of the button as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We can say shuffle, which is the name of our button, dot background color, and exactly the same, cl dot random element. Let's go ahead and run this. And now every single time the button is clicked, you can see that the color of the button and the color of the background do change. Now sometimes they do stay the same, and that's just because you select the same random color was picked twice, which is pretty cool. There you go. So this was the first episode on how to create your very first app. Now it's a very basic application. If you want to see some more advanced stuff, make sure you click on the link in the description or the pop-up that will appear right now. And make sure you just continue to watch, continue to learn from me and other people so you can go ahead and create your first app. This was just me a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm pretty good. So I'm pretty sure you can reach that stage too. Thank you, and please remember, if you have any questions, make sure you email me or leave a comment. Have a good day, and remember to subscribe to this channel.